Yeah, freaking Elon. He really needs to fix this stuff.
Well, no, it's had its ups and downs. I mean, it's a trial space, and so we got to take it for what it's worth. Just like any of these are trial spaces.
Yeah.
I would blame Goku if I was
unlucky,
you guys.
man.
Blame Goku.
Yeah, it's like
Goku.
Next time on Twitter Spaces.
If you guys can share out the spaces again, just to get everyone back in here.
Yeah, man. We Rudes, we actually have to deal with like these Twitter Spaces crashing on us more often than you think, which is like
well, I'm ramping up over here.
It's pretty
guys.
annoying, bro.
I'm ramping up over here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've talked to a lot of my groups that I'm in over on Discord and stuff like that, and I've been pushing them to come into my spaces here the last 2 weeks, and they've shelled out for me. I mean, I think we had over 14,000 tuned in today, which is double our number from last week.
Yeah, that's solid, man. That's amazing. I mean, look, I'm the first person to say that I think Twitter Spaces is the most powerful platform out there to get people on and have a solid AMA and a solid conversation with. But these little bugs that kind of like kick people out and just like you can't even like resume the space that was ended. Those are just little kinks that need to be ironed out. And I think once they fix those little small issues, this is going to be absolutely the biggest platform out there without a doubt, without a question.
Definitely. And I think they're just only going to grow as long as you this is my biggest thing is this is the biggest thing I find with a lot of these guys in this space that have come in the last 5 or 6 years is they have a knack to want to show their fucking bag or talk about it on their YouTube channels and shit like that. And you don't do that, man. You don't show your fucking bag to your investors. What you do is you talk about the product, allow your investors to then decide what they want to do and how they want to conduct their business. And you should never, at the end of the day, ever make anybody accountable for accountable for anything, because we play in a P2P era. And so what that means is I want money or you want money. Anybody wants money. We're going to get it off each other unless we know how to play it right. To me, like I've said, I think we had a conversation about this earlier. The exchanges to me were always just that. They were a leverage point for me to go in there, swing trade daily or leverage trade. And most people are just now catching on to how to do leveraging, where I've been doing it for years, and never to sit there. And I try to stay anonymous. I'm not going to bullshit anybody. It's no one's business how much fucking money I have in my wallets, my crypto wallet. That's the beauty of crypto. You can know the number address, but you don't need to know who it is. And people got spoiled this last year by certain things and certain aspects and have been led to the shed, so to speak, and got butchered. And it's by kids that with slick tongues.
Yeah, you know what it is? It's people trying to show off, bro. Which is one of the main reasons that those people who are like influencers online and they start showing off and start doxing them their wallets and start calling out everything that they get paid to call out for. That's when things become a problem, is because these people are starting to get greedy and they're starting to, believe it or not, ruin the space by making those bad call outs, those paid shills, those the business making in a sense, right? Which is
exactly
why I feel like when people do actually sponsor a project or a token, it's their responsibility to make sure that out of anybody they do the due diligence and make sure that they're setting themselves up for a position to not have to deal with any kind of bullshit moving forward with these types of promotions and sponsorships, right? Which is I mean, we've dealt with
and that's the truth. And that's the firm truth. And then you have good projects. You have good projects that stay afloat throughout this bear market, but yet people want to sleep on them. You can still have teams that are still alive and show their creativeness and their dev side and what they plan to do and build out their product and or their ecosystem and run with it. It doesn't have to be somebody dropping a new project today. Not every day has to be of fucking day trading.
For
And
sure.
that's just, and people are trying to make crypto like the stock market. But remember this: the stock market operates from 9:30 to what, 4 o'clock or 3:30, some bullshit like that. So if that's how you guys want to play in this space, then by all means, let's regulate it.
Yeah, people try to make it that, but you asked a good question right before the spaces got crashed. So I want to get into that, and before we get into that conversation, I also want to make an announcement just in case the spaces does crash again. Um, One thing that I wanted to announce for the community, because I know we've been hyping this up for the past 2 weeks now to our community, and they wanted to know, they've been wanting to know, and there's so many people here. So one of the major announcements that we wanted to make for Shibadoge overall was that we're going to be doing a Black Friday event for the token, because we know that there's been a lot of eyes on the token overall and a lot of people who've wanted to join our community. So we're going to be doing a 0% buy tax event for Black Friday. So from Friday, November 25th at 12:01 a.m. PST, we're going to be having a 0% buy tax up into November 28th, until 11:59 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And this is the first time we're announcing this publicly. So for any buys that happen during that time, there's going to be a huge wide range of giveaways that people are going to be able to participate on as well on top of that. And I'll pull up just a few of them right now. The top 5 buyers are going to have a chance to win up to 500 quintillion Shibadoge tokens, which right now is worth about almost $30,000. We're also going to be choosing 5 random buyers who will have a chance to win one pair of Shiba and Doge Army NFTs. There will also be a random winner chosen who will win $5,000 in Shiba Doge tokens, as well as 5 pairs of Doge Army and Shiba Army NFTs. So if you've had your eye on Shiba Doge and wanted to get into the project, this is the perfect opportunity. So we're going to be tweeting all of these things out after the spaces. So definitely follow the page if you haven't, to keep up with the event. And if you want to be a part of it, definitely this is a great time for you to do that. So I wanted to bring that up just in case the spaces crashed again. So Rude, one question that you asked before the spaces crashed was how long Shiba Doge has been
One thing you
around.
left out. One thing you
Yeah,
left out, please, super quick. Those buys have to be on chain on Uniswap for us to be able to track them, guys. So if you buy on like a centralized exchange, unfortunately, we won't be able to track you guys for the giveaway entries. So if you wish to participate in anything Max talked about, that applies to buying, participating in the buy contest on chain, using Uniswap or any uh, other trading swapping platform you want to use that uses Dex.
thanks, Leo. Good point. So Rude, you were asking how long we've been around. So we launched on Christmas Eve in 2021. So on December 24th, um, on Christmas Eve, we launched. So we're now about 11 months old, and our anniversary is coming up next month, which is going to be exciting for the community. We're going to be doing a lot of big events for that as well. But we're now approaching 1 year. It's been a hell of a ride, man. It's been crazy, but um, it's been so exciting. So many ups and downs, but it's definitely been worth every moment. And we're continuing to go as hard as we can and just enjoying the journey as much as possible. And I think you've known of the project for a while now, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, I have. I remember when you guys launched last year.
Oh, so from day one, you already knew
Yeah.
about Shiba Doge.
Yeah, I knew from fucking Chino and Omar and the guys in Foodatory.
Oh, okay, cool. So yeah, it's our 1 year anniversary next year, so it's pretty exciting.
Definitely, man. And
Correct.
Rude, I think the amount that we were able to accomplish as a community in a very short amount of time is very respectable in the space. I mean, we're at almost 27,000 holders on chain, plus however many tens of thousands we have off chain on the centralized exchanges. Close to 200 some thousand, if not more than that, followers across all of our socials, continuously growing. Just have a
Right. That with
amazing
your
support
guys'
system.
your Call of Duty NFTs and things like that. I think you guys are broadening your horizons and adapting to certain different situations too for what's going on. And you guys are doing it. I mean, you guys are showing the true epitome of what it takes to. It's called the grind.
It is
During a
called
bear
the
market.
grind. Yes, sir. And that's the thing. It doesn't matter to us what kind of state the market is in because we know what our goal mission is and we know what we want to achieve with, the power of Shiba Doge. And we don't really let the market affect us. Obviously, it does have its effects. If it's a good market, we see a lot more success in the ease of doing everything. Marketing campaigns are more substantial and more effective. And then in the bear market, they're less effective and you have to work harder. But that doesn't change the fact that the work needs to get done, no matter how hard it is. If we quit every time something was hard, we'd be broke right now. We'd be nowhere, and we'd be failures, right? So, we're avid believers, and the grind needs to continue. The hard work needs to happen. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it, right? And that's something that we pride ourselves in, is being able to take that challenge and continuously being able to challenge ourselves and even the community ourselves too. Like, we teach them how to overcome challenges and how to cope with bear markets and how to make the best out of every situation. And it's a lot easier when you're not doing it alone, man. When you have a lot of people that are supporting you, whether you're an investor, whether you're uh, uh, a dev, or whatever you are, anything you do alone is a lot harder than when you do it with a bunch of friends or a bunch of supporters. So we're very keen on continuously growing our community and just turning this into more of like a family friendly vibe, and just where everyone can get along and learn and progress as individuals.
No, and I agree. Um, what do you guys plan to do with your guys' NFTs? I mean, what is the structure? Because a non fungible token can do, man, the creativeness on a non fungible token is endless of what can be done with these things. What
I
do you guys
agree,
plan to
man.
do with your guys' NFTs?
So let me tell you how we started with what we plan to do and what we're currently doing. If you own a Shiba Army or a Doge Army NFT, you can participate in like staking seasons. This is what we call them right now. We call it, the first one is called Wars. It's called the War Zone, is what we call it actually. And the thing is, it's like nothing is permanent in a sense, right? Which is why we call it seasons, because season one is different from season two, and season two is different from season three, and so on. So the reason why we chose to go that path is because it gives a whole dynamic meaning to owning a NFT, is because us as developers can recognize different trends that are happening in the market and see what works and what doesn't, and always be able to adjust to bringing that utility that is popping and is popular and is successful into our community, and be able to integrate. Like right now, you could stake your NFTs and gain Shibadoge tokens and burn tokens in the process of doing so. In future seasons, depending on what advancements we come up with and what new trends that are happening in the crypto space, we will be able to incorporate new things into those seasons moving forward. We also have a comic book coming out this December. Hopefully, we're aiming for a December release on that. The comic book is going to be featuring real NFTs that exist in our ecosystem as well too. It's an amazing storyline. We believe that storyline and lore is like super important in the space too, because everyone loves a good story, and you could get attached to a good story, which is why cartoons, animes, TV shows, whatever you want to call them, are so successful, is because the story is so good. So we put a lot of hard work, money, and effort into creating a good story, creating a good comic, and hopefully we could scale that into something franchisable in the future. But our main goal is to continue to be able to bring a tier level of support to our NFT holders, and in order to do that is continuously being dynamic in the way that we do things in the seasons moving forward. And we also have a breeding system coming out where you guys can actually pair up the Doge Army and Shiba Army NFTs to create a Shiba Doge Army or a Shiba Doge NFT, which is going to be a whole different thing, and it's free to do if you already have a pair of each NFT.
Yeah, and
go ahead.
I just wanted to add on to that. And so with the Shiba Doge NFTs that we're releasing very soon, that's going to be free to claim for our community. And the whole thing there is really to do something that's truly unique to the space, which is creating a fully dynamic NFT where users, community members can fully customize their NFTs to the way they love them. And also, there's going to be a lot of different exciting things that we release for the NFTs. So over time, the NFTs change. And what the goal really here is one of the major things is to be able to grow this into an IP franchise. So obviously, like Leo said, there is we have the comic book coming, and there's a lot of ways, ideas and a vision we have of how we can grow this into a franchise, because we have tremendous experience in the web 2 field of building social media and just digital brands and IP overall. So we come from a background like of that, and we have a vision that we believe NFTs is going to play a huge part of that in the future. So having a community be a part of that is a very truly unique way to achieve that. And like Leo said from the beginning of the seasons as well, he brought up a very good point that the seasons change because we're always trying new things and we're always seeing how our community and the market reacts to things. So when we make a decision, we don't always stick to it just because we made a decision and we believe that it has to be the way it is and our egos get in the way. We release a product, we see how the community reacts, we see how people react. And if the community loves it and the space loves it, we'll keep it going. If not, we'll do something new, but we're always trying new things and we're always building continuously. And that's just something that has been really big for us to being able to make Shiba Doge successful. We've always done things that were unique and different, and we continue to do that.
Okay, let me ask you guys this: your NFTs, by the way, are they on OpenSea? And if they are on OpenSea, have you guys got the verify check mark yet? And if not, I'm trying to think. I think you have to have the verified check mark in order. I don't know how it works out in order for you to get the special, the octagon like I have for your NFT. Just work on it. I mean, I know the guys over at OpenSea. They would with a project of like you guys and your NFTs coming down. And you guys, as long as how long you guys have been out, that speaks reputable because you guys have been in what they would stereotype as the shitcoin space. I call it the meme coin space. And then that right there could be something that your holders can really shine on, because then they have the octagon, which means that the NFT is verified, or the dev team's verified, and they're doing well, and then you can get your check mark. And
we have a check mark on the Doge Army NFTs. We don't have a check mark just yet on the Shiba Army NFTs, and the reason for that
can you guys post a link? Can you guys post a link for some of the listeners to go look at up here and above on the OpenSea side? So, like, say if I want to buy some or something like that, because
yes, please. I've been looking for it just now.
Yeah. Because
give me a second.
To me, guys, that's one way of building your brand out, because then your army or your community can have that, and they'll be like, oh, look, we don't just have a circle anymore. We actually have a verified NFT, and we can connect our wallet to it. Like you can connect Trust Wallet and or MetaMask to Twitter now. And not only that, with Apple, for instance, accepting USDC, ERC20, and you guys also being on ETH. Hey man, there's a gap side there that's just been bridged.
No, man, we definitely
maybe something.
understand. Yeah, maybe something, maybe nothing. That's the beautiful part of it, man. It's always maybe something. It just that the thing is, people don't work hard enough to get to something, and they give up before they can actually make that impact in the space and make that impact for the people that actually believe in them. So, for us to be so driven and so motivated. I mean, look, we as devs and as individuals ourselves, we've made massive amounts of money in crypto space through Shiba Inu and through Dogecoin. We've seen that success, and we decided what we wanted to do with our lives, for example, is to be able to bring that same type of feeling, that same type of successful feeling that we got to as many people as we possibly can. And the way to do that is to actually just produce something great and bring something amazing to the table, bring something that's scalable to the table, and something that people can actually fall in love with and support and spread positivity. So,
but in a very healthy way, because the biggest issue we had when being early to Doge and Shib was always having the two communities so tribalistic
Well,
towards each other.
exactly. Because I mean, I'm still in the Shiba Discord. Still to this day, we broke off the 259 founders that were the heavyweights back last year, right after the tweet from Vitalik. But I still keep ties to that community. But the thing about it is that's because of the fact that Doge was created. Let's be real. The biggest thing here is Shiba was created over in the Asian market. Doge was founded by a United States two guys. Really, it was really one, Jackson Palmer, and Billy was just, I don't know, because I remember Jackson Palmer going to all the conferences. It never was Billy up there talking. It was always Jackson Palmer. He was the innovator. He really broke loose the trend for product to retail in the crypto space. If people really want to get knowledgeable here, Jackson Palmer is a fucking genius, way above his time for crypto, and crypto wasn't ready for it because why would you give a man death threats, or why would you go after his family when all he's trying to do is bridge the gap between decentralized to centralized in the retail side to make it more lucrative across the board? He came out when Doge Chain came out and went to mainnet. He had over 3,000 retailers online that accepted him from Reddit, from Twitter, from MySpace, all these. And because that man was taking so much heat, he stepped away from the space. And that's wrong, man.
Yeah, man, it's tough. It's tough being in the space, especially as a developer. I mean, you can try your best. You could do 1,000 things right and make one mistake, and that one mistake is going to be louder than the 1,000 right things you did. It's very tough in the space to be a developer, tremendously tough. Even for us, we've dealt with our own backlash as well. No matter how hard we work, there's always that group of people who aren't going to be happy about something, and they're a lot louder than the people who are happy. So I mean, I'm not surprised at all, man. That's something that unfortunately comes with the space for multiple reasons.
But and that's where it comes to us, the lounge owners and or the crypto people that want to speak about it, for us to bridge that gap. It's okay to own more than one token or one stable. It's okay to be interact amongst communities, because right now during this bear market, a lot of projects aren't getting by unless they do form those type of partnerships with other projects. And once you do, and you come out of this bear market, we go back into a decent little bull run. Those are going to be the projects that shine, because if you don't allow money to control your decisions and anything you do in life, and you truly believe in accountability amongst what you choose to do, you can succeed in anything you fucking do in life.
Yeah, absolutely. And already enough people want crypto to fail. So when people in crypto are always being competitive towards each other, tribalistic towards each other, we should be supporting each other. We should be helping each other's projects and communities. We should be collaborating together. We should be supporting each other to build a healthier space, because we're already dealing with enough to bring us down. So the way you lose a war is within your warriors within the war turning against each other. And we need to come together. And that's what, if you go on our Medium articles, we have an article about unity, which is what our project is all about, bringing communities together, because that our belief is that's the only way that crypto is really going to make it, is by communities coming together and making DeFi somewhere that's stronger and healthier, not by us always fighting each other and thinking that one project has to win for the space to succeed. That's not a healthy and sustainable way to look at things.
Exactly. And I think, especially with like what you guys are on 2 chains now, right? Or have you guys always been on the east side?
Right now
we're just on ETH, but we do have plans of going cross bridge to multiple different chains in the future too.
Okay. Yeah. Let me know, man, because I have some people that aren't retards that know how to do the bridging point and do not. All you have to do is go to their swap.
Yeah, man. There's so many plans we have for the project to continue to grow it. Bridging is definitely one of the things, but we still have so much room to grow on the ETH chain, and we still have
no doubt. But the biggest thing that scares me, and this is coming from a miner standpoint, okay, and it's the truth, because when it was an algorithm that was renounced, that it only had to be managed on a backend server, right, a central hub, and we could verify from start to finish as far as mining it, to now turning it over to supply, which is then deflationary if you think about it, because of what you can do with a token compared to a stable coin, right? A stable coin we have always known as a mineable commodity. When it becomes a deflationary style smart contract, it is when it goes into the crosshairs of the government. Does that make sense?
Of course.
So the thing about ETH that scares the shit out of me is Vitalik struggled with communication amongst people. And that's not a knock against him. It's just some people have that knack and some people don't. You have to be able to be. We'll take CZ for instance, right? CZ has a good mouthpiece that speaks for Binance. That's how he's been able to get Binance to go out here. He's got a good business ethics side about him, and he's smart as fuck. But when it comes to relaying it to the average investor, he's not good at it, right? And neither is Vitalik. Vitalik has that mindset of he's a tech, and when you guys know as techs, sometimes we run across other techs that just are not sociable. Does that make sense?
Yeah, trust me, it makes sense. We have a big development team. We know.
And to me, the person who's holding the keys to the car right now that Vitalik stopped us from mining ETH, he doesn't have that marketing, because he lost pretty much his voices, because you had the Polkadot dev that was part of ETH. You also had Charles from Cardano, and you had one other guy, and they were all good, sociable, interactive people for the community, and they could adopt crypto to the masses and educate them correctly. How does Vitalik counter that without Binance flipping them? And I'm not big on Binance, don't get me wrong, but CZ has the smoke now, whereas Vitalik may struggle. And it's really going to take a real world scenario to really get ETH to push like people think. When it was an algorithm, it was beautiful, because the thing about the algorithm was it had a per cap per year how much you could mine, but it was an endless supply. And that's what you want as far as if we're crypto community mindset, right? And so for projects that are honored, that's what you guys want, because that keeps the derivative driven for the asset, or we'll say the stable coin. And now that we went to a staking, it's scary, man. It's really scary. And because we went more to a centralized spacing of it. And that's and you're not, well, like I said, I have over 87 rigs, okay? And when I don't even when you do the real world numbers, I'm a numbers guy. We only tie up 0.05 of all the electricity that's used globally for mining, whether it be BTC, Litecoin, ETH, all that. Why did he buckle down to the centralized community? Because to me, I love ETH. I'm an ETH Moxie, but it made no sense to me.
No, you have a great point, man. You have a great point, and there's a lot of reasons why I see the proof of stake having its benefits, and then obviously there's a lot of reasons how the mining part of it had its benefits. But it's going to be interesting to see how what you talked about is the communication that Vitalik needs to bring to the table is going to compete with some of these other big players in the space. So I do 100% wholeheartedly agree with you that he does need to bring on someone who can actually be the social part of that team, right? Because it is going to be extremely important. And you have to really commend CZ for what he's doing. He's kind of like the Elon of crypto, for example, in a way, right? With the way he's able to, speak, and the way he's able to kind of like drive attention to the things that he has interests in. So,
oh, bro,
it's going
he's
to be
got the
interesting.
smoke because he's accepting anybody in his 18 to 23 range group for I forget what it's called, Angels. I think it's called the Binance Angels is what they're called. Okay,
Right.
and for the younger generation to gain adoption and understanding and go out and speak about crypto, he is out here hustling. What is Vitalik doing for us on ETH? I love ETH. I want to see ETH prosper. I really, wholeheartedly, even though I still mine BTC, I really wanted ETH to flip BTC. But man, by what he did, I understand, but I don't, because he could have easily moved his servers anywhere and put them in a more structured environment, if that makes sense, and we'd have been fine. But at the end of the day, I get it, and I just want to see. I want to if projects are going to launch on ETH, I just hope that they're mindful and they do, like you said, like you guys are doing, cross chain. You guys cross chain, you keep your options open no matter what happens.
100% agree with you, man. It's just something that it needs to happen. Where as far as like let's say Shibadoge as a brand grows, let's call it 5 years in the future. You're not just going to come to one place to be a part of it or be able to obtain it. Obviously the whole goal would be for it to be easily obtainable across hundreds of, if not thousands, of different platforms. So I agree with you. Being able to grow and being able to scale is going to be a very important factor in how things progress. And I think in the short period of time that we've been around, we've actually done a great job of doing that. We're already on about 10 exchanges and working on a whole bunch of different ways to expand that reach as well, other than exchanges in its own. Because obviously we see what can happen with exchanges, right? No exchange is safe if you really think about it. Like what happened to FTX, what happened to Celsius, what happened to the various other people can happen to any exchange. So we're definitely putting plans together on how we can actually continue to scale and continue to grow without having to rely mainly on exchanges to reach more people. So it's going to be very interesting to see how the next couple of years of crypto progress and some of the opportunities, new opportunities that are going to be brought to the table. Because I do really think a new standard is going to be introduced and a new standard is going to be implemented. The NFT standard was amazing and really revolutionized the space. And people think like that's the last of what's ever going to happen. That's
Oh, hell
absolutely
no!
not
Because
true. Yeah.
if you guys have been together, we'll say, okay, you guys have been together for a short time. You say it's short time, but we all know in the shitcoin space, for instance, and I'm not labeling you guys that. I'm just stating it. In the shitcoin space, it's 4 times the equivalent being out here in the centralized area. Let's be real. So the amount of time you guys have put in this space for Shiba Doge, you guys have basically done 4 years worth to 5 years worth and just playing on an exchange, for instance, let's say. Because You guys are
Dog
doing,
years, bro. Dog
yeah,
years.
dude. Exactly, exactly. It's madness, and I commend you guys on that, and I commend any project that's still going today. And you guys, like I said, you guys have a good, healthy market cap. And to me, anybody that looks at it and says, "Oh, it's not," fuck you, because if you
Exactly,
don't
man.
understand crypto, don't speak, because I don't want to hear. To me, I don't want to hear ignorance out of people's mouths. Ask me a general question, or ask me a question of meaningfulness, of saying, "Hey, look, Rude, I don't understand this, or I need to understand that, or I don't know this or that." Okay, fine. We'll help you. You know, understand something, because to me, the $1 million contract drops are done. We're back to the snail stage of crypto to a certain extent. So people need to just buckle down, accept it, embrace it, not bitch about it, start getting their creative beakers on. Like when I finally came out of hibernation, we'll say, right, last month, we helped Red's in here, Hassan from Kali and New. We helped him fill his pre-sale. Goku, we helped Goku fill his pre-sale. We help projects, and I'm proud of that. I'm proud. But people say, people always want to talk shit, but whatever, know your facts before you speak it. And to me, projects that are sustaining in this bear market at an MC that you guys are on the east side need to be commended, and more people need to get on board and partner up. And hey, let's see how we can get word of mouth, get these guys going. Let's kickstart them a little
100%.
bit more.
100% agree, because you know why? The projects that are actually staying dormant, being stable, and having that support in a bear market are the projects that you're going to want to be already in when that bull market shows its face and when that bull market starts. You don't want to play catch up, because when those green candles start firing away, you're going to be caught on the wrong end of it. You get what I'm saying? So it's like when the markets are dry, when the tides are not really doing its thing and whatnot, you should start looking into how can I make my money work for myself, and how if you were interested in our project or whatever other project you're interested in at any given time, and you were looking at it at its all-time high and said, hey, you know what, maybe I don't want to get in now, maybe I can get in when there's a better price. We're in that cycle right now where people can actually start looking into making creating those positions that they wanted to create a few months back and not have to pay as much as they would have had to pay back then. You get what I'm saying? So
You guys know what I like the most about the bear market? In the bull market, everything was so tremendously overpriced. Anytime we wanted to do any marketing, when we wanted to do an audit, when we wanted to hire a new developer, uh, when we needed a new smart contract done, everything, it was so much more expensive to build the right way. And I think that also is the reason why we saw a lot of projects fail, because a lot of projects would write a smart contract and wouldn't even be able to afford a proper audit, which would miss things in their contract that was the downfall of their project. But right now, what we're seeing is we've hired over 10 new people onto our team in the past 2 months, and considerably costing us less, much more less than it was 6 months ago. Where the new smart contracts we're working on for, let's say, the Shibadoge dynamic NFTs, the audits that we're getting done, and so on, all the work that we're getting done with across the board with everything that we're building in the background is costing 3 to 5 times less. So it really depends on what perspective you have on the market, right? You could look at it as um, nothing is really happening, or for us, the way we look at it as a positive is where we're able to build more and even more quicker for even less, because there's just less going on. So for us, it's great because we love to build so many great and new exciting things, and it's afforded us the opportunity to do so.
Well, and that's what, I'm an NFT junkie, and I mean, I got founder NFTs from, we used to get founder NFTs way back before the first NFTs started dropping out, right? For instance, and like that's what a lot of people don't understand, that like I think it was 2014 or 15. I think it was when the first big batch of NFTs came out down the pipe. And so the thing about the non-fungible tokens are just that they if you have a good solidity or a Plutus, and or we'll say a C++ or a Linux coder, he can pretty much build anything into that smart contract for you and make that non-fungible token work to your advantage no matter what. And working then, if we can, like if like we'll say, for instance, you guys want to do something creative for like your brand, right? And so in order for you to to be verified, you could then code in to the NFT once you guys will say, like, if you guys had a store or something like that for like branding of like clothing and stuff like that. So they had to then go and then connect their wallet, and then they would get like certain, extra merch, for instance, or they could buy something that no one else could, just, the average community member could buy, things like that. And it's great. But then you can also work out partnerships with like local restaurants, establishments. Like if you go in and they show this, your guys' NFT or something like that, they get VIP or something like that, or they get X amount off their meals. There's a lot of things that the non-fungible tokens can do that a standard token can't
let
do.
me give you a little bit of an insight as to what's coming with when the Shibadoge NFTs actually drop, the red versions. When those actually come, we have like a whole entire dynamic system to it where we're going to be able to release new wearables and new equipables throughout, weeks, months, whatever, however long we want, and in whatever intervals we want, right? And the thing is, people are going to be able to customize their NFTs however they like and however they see fit. And think of it like Fortnite skins, right? There's a new skin with a partnership with Marvel or whatever. You can make your Fortnite character look like Superman. That's going to be the whole goal of how we try to push these equipables and how to push these wearables with different partnerships that we're going to, obviously attempt to make in the future. Whether they be with different projects, different NFT projects, businesses, whatever. You get what I'm saying? Like, in a perfect world, it would be us approaching Bored Ape and being like, "Hey guys, like we'd love to get one of you guys' traits, like your cowboy hat, or something like that. What would it take to make a partnership like that? Obviously we would bring exposure to your project, your affiliation with us would bring exposure to our project. How can we make it work? Whether it's with Bored Ape or whether it's with the hundreds of other successful projects out there, the
What about
opportunity for growth.
like I own CryptoPunks, I own Bored Apes, I own a lot of Bored Apes, kennels. I mean, I own a lot of different ones. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But I mean,
And the beautiful thing is you own the intellectual property to that. So if us as a project own the intellectual property of any NFT, we can literally make whatever the heck we want out of that. You get what I'm saying? So we own a Bored Ape, we own a CryptoPunk. We can create traits from those CryptoPunks and Bored Apes that we own because we own the intellectual property to it and incorporate it into into a wearable where
here's
people,
my question.
yeah.
Here's my question, Leo. When partnership with Program?
With Crow, I'd have to look into it. That's a good question. Maybe if that's something that we're always open to new opportunities, Rudes. We're always open to it, and we're always willing to talk to the people that need to be talked to. And
because
we're
you see the key I got, right? That's a founder's key for Program, and I truly 100% believe in King's product. I always have, no matter what our differences have ever been.
Well, yeah, I definitely want to learn more and talk to you off of this AMA about it, and kind of get the whole scoop onto
Bro, I'll be real with you.
what that's all about.
I'll break it down real quick for you guys. It's got everything built into it that all these social apps needed to have a long time ago that they don't have. It has the trending service. It has marketing tools for you. It has not only that, everything is built within the app. You build your channel out. You can do everything. You can also, it has a ledger on the second tab. Like once you get, so much, or if you get vetted correctly, you can then have people can book the AMA straight through that instead of having to go through marketers. Everything is it's a one and done product it's going to revolutionize this space, not only just crypto, but even into the retail side.
And that's the beautiful thing about projects that are doing things like that and being innovative and creative, is because that's what you got to do. You got to be different. You got to be able to stand out. You have to be an anomaly. If you're not, then you blend in with all the other bullshit and all the other people who are just trying to do things for the wrong reasons, and you're just not going to make it unless you are creative and unique and you act as an anomaly, which is why which is why we're always so dynamic in the way we do things too. Somebody asked me the other day, they're like, "Yo, why'd you remove the roadmap off of your guys' website?" And I found that question to be so funny because the way that I answered it too, I was like, "Hey, go to any meme coin, go to any of these Dex project websites and look at their roadmap. It literally locks them into one path that they're just like blocked out to the outside world, and they're just trying to reach 100,000 holders or 100,000 followers or whatever, and they just point to that and kind of like use that as a scapegoat. We're dynamic, man. We're continuously changing and adapting and bringing on what's trending in the space into our community and trying to blend that in rather than being locked into one certain roadmap and then saying like, hey, we're never going to change and this is us and this is going to be us forever. Yeah, no, this is going to be us forever, but I'm going to go ahead and make sure to bring on any kind of new trend and any type of new advancement in the space and incorporate it with our project so that we don't stay last year's news and we don't stay last year's project. You get what I'm saying? We could continue like a Tesla, continuously update and continuously get up to speed and continuously have all the quirks and features and everything that people are looking for, because the crypto space evolves faster than any other space that I've seen yet. And I've been a technology lover for my entire life, and technology moves fast, but damn me if I'm wrong, crypto moves a lot faster. So
yeah, exactly. Because I mean,
Absolutely.
by trade, I'm an electrical engineer. I've been studying coding since 1995. Okay. I finally finished my degree off in 2004, and I still to this date I'm learning. And I mean, and and like you said, and crypto is the only space that really you can come in here and everybody's the same person. Everybody's on the same level. Goku said that to me once, and it stuck with me, and I like it. It's an even playing field in crypto until you decide whether or not you're going to veer to the left or to the right or stay straight. You keep it on straight and narrow and you network correctly, you'll never go wrong.
that's all it is, man. It's all about being able to network too, because people
Absolutely, man.
underplay it.
And if I may add on to what you said about program, Twitter, Telegram has been serving us for years now, right? And we are obviously very thankful. But it's, as you said, it's a technology that's evolving very, very fast. We want to have something relevant, and even program coming into the game, and just small details, things that irritate you on other platforms. Even the way you just copy a contract address. Now there is only one spot, and that's in your group information that's posted by the official team. So you don't have to look at the chat and copy a contract address. You don't have to look anywhere else. Just one stop place. And I don't even want to say shop, because having relevance and now evolving from there, and even the strategic way King had with his vision, right? Not involving any VCs, not having a token, not having to deal with that, just a strictly social platform for crypto and blockchain, relevant. Now you wanna get trending, you wanna get promoted, that you are promoted or even getting trending in front of relevant people, potentially having millions of users that are only interested in blockchain technology. And unlike many other projects, and this is something I like about being around Rude, I don't just get to know a good project. I get to be a better human being by just education, getting to know stuff. It's integrity, and just involving that and making those small details that make a huge difference, man. And especially for projects like you guys that have been there for almost a year now, right? It's time for a relevant platform, just about crypto and blockchain, and having that exposure to potentially millions. I like it, man. I love it. And yeah, you guys have been doing great. I remember you guys. I've been around you guys for quite a while now. And yeah, big shout out to Rude for always putting in a bit of education for people, man. That's what it's about. And I think personally, that's a responsibility every individual in this space has, that has been out there for a while. Because what is it that we suffer from? It's neglectance. It's, okay, Rude said it, yes, it's a peer-to-peer game, but there is certain ways, to work together, to look out for each other. Yes, everyone is just here to make money, but hey, and like Ruth said, this is what I always say: who we are doesn't change in this space. We got to stick to our integrity, to who we are, and just look out for each other and educate each other. Because if you look at DeFi, more than 70% that joined DeFi left the space on their first investment because they either got into a scam or, got themselves into something that they shouldn't have in the first place. And that's where we, as a community, and I'm not talking about Shiba community, Doge community. I'm talking about crypto community. A crypto community that, like Rude said, you want to go to the stock market and work from 9 to 4? By all means, that's your choice. But if you want to be around here, it's our responsibility to educate each other and hold each other responsible, accountable. That's what I had to say, man.
No, the beauty of everything is, like, for instance, I commend these guys. They've been around and they've attested the time. They're doing a giveaway for their year anniversary, so to speak, for Black Friday to try to generate. They're thinking outside the box. Not a lot of people are doing that. Everybody else is packed up. Let's be real. Like you said, Goku. And there's these projects that are still staying afloat because they believe in crypto, and that's why I like these type of projects. I like all the projects that are being innovative, and these are the ones that are going to shine once everything starts to come back around.
Yeah, and it's not even about the chart, really. It's not always about the chart. It's about engagement. Even them putting up, some prizes for what? For engagement. Let's talk to the team. Let's talk to the community. Let's get to know each other. On what is it? Tuesday night, Thursday night. It's already Thursday for me here. Get to know each other. It's engagement. It's and as you said, Leo, earlier, just building and building and building through this bear market, and you want to be positioned right, because once the bull comes, you want to be ready. You don't want to be chasing candles. And with good vibes, financial freedom comes, and just building it through this bear with good connections with people with integrity. That's what it's all about, man.
Definitely, bro. So there's this. I was watching this interview with this guy doing an interview on a billionaire just a couple days ago, and I came to Max and I shared what I took from value from that interview. And one thing, I mean, I watched this whole 30-minute interview, but one thing that the guy said stood out to me so much that it really made an impact on the way that I look at things moving forward. Is at the very end of the interviewer told this guy, he's a billionaire, keep in mind. He asked this guy, he's like, hey, what word of advice would you give people who are trying to make it, who are trying to become a billionaire just like you, or, millionaire, whatever. And the guy paused for a second and he comes back and he's all like, this is the advice that I was given before I was even successful, at any extent. And I'm going to give it to you guys now. And I mean, I'm waiting for it to see what he's going to say. And he said, stop being so focused on trying to make yourself money and change your focus into making other people around you money. And you will be rewarded like heavenly, right? Like crazy. And I paused for a second. I was trying to get what this guy's saying. Like, what do you mean? Like, stop trying to make money and try to make other people money. And then I got it, like immediately, like snapped, and I got it. I was like, okay, that's the true path of success. That's how a extremely successful individual grows his own empire, is because when you're making everybody around you successful, you're gonna be a byproduct of that. And when you're making 1,000,000 people around you successful, or 100 people around you successful, whatever, who's going to be the most successful person in that room or in that group or whatever? The person who's actually giving people the opportunity and the avenue to create success is going to be the most successful person. So that's one quote that really got cemented in the back of my head, where the guy was like, stop trying to make money for yourself and start trying to make money for everybody else around you, and you will make it. And that's how he became a billionaire, and it made 100% complete sense to me. And
no, it's the truth. I'll be honest with you. I'm not a selfish person at all. I don't even look at the chart. I don't look at my bag. I've never looked at. I know what I have in my. You got to keep track of stuff. So I know what I got in my cold wallets, and I suggest anybody get cold wallets, because if you're going to stay in crypto space, the key is not to take it to a centralized exchange, because that's where you're going to get taxed at. The key is to move your shit out of your hot wallet, which is your like every day or every other day or weekly wallet, and move it into a cold wallet where you can detach it and put it away in a safe. And that's what I've done. I've tried to train people in my community to do things like that, to be mindful. Never keep, and always, if you go into a project, don't go in with the same wallet. Always create a new wallet, at least until they regulate wallets where you have to register KYC and also their shit. Because MetaMask allows you an eternity of wallets. Take advantage of it. Go into a project, send off to centralized exchange so people can't track where your funds are coming from. As long as you don't swap it out from ETH and you send it back to the exchange and then you send it back out to a new wallet, you don't have to pay taxes. But if you take it to a centralized exchange and then you swap it, that's when you have to pay taxes, people. Educate yourself. So don't swap it, send it there, send it back out to another new wallet, and then invest so no one can track you. The problem people are doing is they're out here rocking with one wallet and they don't give a shit. And you have to be mindful. So then we get people's wallets hacked. People stay connected. Disconnect your wallet from anything that you stay connected or that you have to go and do, like, say, Compound, or if you're doing a staking pool or something like that, do those type of things. Or if you have NFTs such as, you know, Shibadoge NFTs or something like that, or something that means something to you, never stay connected to anything. And be mindful of yourself. And, you know, you'll save money. You know, we've lost a lot of money in this space that could be back in this space in a project like this right here. And I think that it says a lot for the people that are still here, that you guys have attested the time. And I don't really, I mean, you guys are doing the Black Friday. You guys are working on your NFT contracts. What else do you guys have in the future that's wrapped around your ecosystem?
I didn't catch the last part of your question, Rude.
I said, what else is in your, we won't say roadmap, but what do you guys have ideally set forth going forward in your ecosystem for Shibadoge?
That's a beautiful question, man. So for Shibadoge, the key word is ecosystem, and what we're going to be doing with the future plan for Shibadoge is to create an entire ecosystem where it can actually survive and thrive and grow, and you know, be able to offer many different types of things to the people who are interested in the projects, right? And the first part of the ecosystem that we introduced was called the Burn Project. It's the Burn token. It's the sister token. It's brought to you by Shibadoge Labs. Same people, same people who brought Shibadoge to the table. And the key mission of what the Burn Project is a support system for Shibadoge, and a way and an avenue for us to grow the ecosystem and bring different types of people into the project. Maybe certain individual may look at Shibadoge and it might not be their forte, but then they look at Burn and it's their forte, and they decide to come in and be a part of the community and learn more through that funnel that's created there. Now, when Burn was launched back in April, we had a whole plan, a whole agenda for it, and then the entire market decided to do a 360. So instead of us completely scratching the idea of Burn and putting it on a hiatus and a pause until the market starts to recover, what we decided to do is like, hey, let's get back to the drawing board and let's actually turn Burn into a completely different thing that we decided to do previously, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. It's being dynamic, it's being adaptive, and it's continuously being creative to be able to create value for the people who are interested in it. So, I mean, as of right now, we haven't released any information as to what we're doing with it and what the future plans of it are. But, we're getting really, really, really close to finalizing what the path moving forward with Burn is going to be. And I always tell people, don't sleep on it, because I call it a sleeping giant. It's just been something that's sitting dormant at like 2.5 mil market cap, something like that, for the past couple of months now. And it's sleeping. I like to call it a sleeping giant. But things like that, it's like once there's news, once there's catalyst, they start to wake up and they start to do things. So I mean, that's just one part of the ecosystem. And essentially moving forward in the years, we have an entire robust ecosystem of different not tokens, I want to say, but just different things that like work together in order to make things easier for people, and kind of like have a utility standpoint of things, and just cool tech, man. We've always been tech lovers our entire life, and we've always been community builders our entire life. So, you know, we're just trying to incorporate our strengths into blockchain because we've seen what works in the real world in Web 2, and kind of incorporating what we know works and the growth hacks that we've learned to find so successful, and, you know, bring them to the table into Web 3. And, you know, if people like it, then they like it. And that's the beautiful thing. It's like, it's not just one idea and done. It's continuously come up with new ideas, bring them to the table, and then that one idea can literally catapult you to the moon, to the next level. So,
well, so then do me this, and this is being honest with you guys. Web3 has been out since 2014.
mm-hmm.
Think of Web 4 and 5. Start doing your homework on that and integrate yourself to that and get ahead of the curve.
Oh, I agree with you, man. I agree with you. And it's not about just thinking about it. It's thinking of how to integrate it with what we already have going on too, because obviously
you guys got to remember, Web3 was anything that was allowing you to connect. Okay, because I remember my first crypto wallet. I ain't gonna lie to you. The thing was a freaking almost a 7 gig DOS product that basically I had to virtually download the whole node where my wallet was at.
Right.
For BTC. To where it, you know, Web3 came out, we were connecting our wallets through the front end because you could tie the front end to the back end. Now, we've been in Web3. Let's get creative. That's why I'm sharing this with you guys. I don't say that to a lot of people, and I really don't. But if I'm going to try to help a project to get, you know, especially one that's been in this space for a minute, might as well give them all the tips that I can to help them better themselves, especially if you guys are going to stay at it. Go to Web 4 and 5, because the faster we adopt, the faster people faster people believe. The longer we stay, you know, we're going almost on a decade that Web3's been out.
Absolutely, and the big boys have to adapt first.
Exactly. Why not us adapt before them fucks do it?
That's what it is, man. And that's why Reddit, and that's why like Alex Ohanian and you know, a bunch of other big players in the space, they actually talked about that. They've actually talked about, you know, venturing into Web 5, Web 4, and kind of like starting to build that infrastructure out. So, you know, I'm very well aware of like the potential of where blockchain can lead, and the thing is, it's like the greater population isn't aware, because to the regular person, it sounds like a bunch of mumbo jumbo and a bunch of hocus pocus, and that's fine, because a lot of people just don't have the time to learn about it, and a lot of people are just so old school that they're not even willing to learn about it, right? So it's up to us, the people who are interested, and the people who kind of like are going to be the next generation of founders and leaders, and you know, I don't know what else to call us, you know, the pioneers of the space or whatever. But it's up to people like us to be able to create those cool things and do the hard work that nobody else wants to do, in order to create the opportunities for the people who are going to be able to reap the benefits of it. So I 100% wholeheartedly agree with you that, you know, we shouldn't only limit ourselves to Web 3, because Web 4 and Web 5 are a real thing too. But, you know, obviously in the current stage of things, we are knee deep in the works of Web 3, and we have a lot of things coming our way with the developments that we have. And one thing that we learned that was super important, and we learned this in Web 2, is it's very important to have a top-notch developer. Like, people downplay that. People think like, oh, let me try to create this as cheap as possible and try to save as much money as possible. Those people that are doing that, they're creating junk shit. Like, I don't mean to like call anyone's work shit, but my developers, when they look into other people's work, and a lot of the people's work that you know, projects nowadays that are releasing stuff, we pay a lot of money to our developers, like top dollar, because we have the best that we can afford to get.
Right. No, and I get that, because how many people have lived by Fiverr? People have made a living off of Fiverr.
99% of the projects that launch are Fiverr projects, probably, man. And that's the thing, is like, when our developers, when our guys, like, they look at these products that people get so hyped up about, and they look into the code. They're like, bro, who the hell wrote this code? I could probably like find this in the back of a cereal box somewhere. And it's sad because people are so like, they don't understand it. I don't expect them to understand it. I personally don't even understand it myself. I'm not a coder, but you know, when my developers look into it and they say this is a heap of garbage and people are buying into it, then it kind of makes me concerned as to like, you know, a lot of these people are just like selling people mumbo jumbo and gimmicks, which is what we don't want to do. We don't want to sell anybody gimmicks. We're always straight up in what we're doing. We're a meme coin and we're, you know, building whatever utilities we're building, but we're never building and releasing any type of garbage to anybody. We try to do everything at a top-notch level. And if we're not going to be able to deliver on a top-notch level, we just won't do it.
No, and I 100% agree. And that's why I'm speaking to you guys about this, because people keep saying Web 2, but what we don't understand is, a lot of people don't understand is that once we were able to have dApps, wallets that were considered an app, we were in the Web 3 genre. And then you take wallets like MetaMask and stuff like that, Gemini, a bunch of different wallets, right, throughout the years that have come down the pipe. And they've been, you know, they interacted with the URL links. You know, that's Web 3. So now, Web 4 and 5, how can we get creative in this? And, you know, to me, that's where the creative side would be on the NFT side, the interaction with like a branding, like a T-shirt. For instance, like for Shibadoge, you guys just sell blank T-shirts, right? But if you have these so-called glasses or something like that, you would then see an art on there, an art detailed outline through the glasses. That could be purchased through via owning in the NFT for Shibadoge, things like that. You know, there's a lot of things that can be broadened out here that people don't understand, and that really would equate over to the retail side. And I think you guys are willing to listen to it. That's why I'm pitching it to you guys.
Yeah, man. Listen. I'd actually love to talk to you more about like Web 4, Web 5, and kind of like pick your brain on that. And I'll tell you, we have a podcast called the 888 podcast. And we're kind of like bringing it back to life. We had done a few episodes here and there in the few months ago, and me and the other host AC were actually you know, planning a comeback for it sometime in December, early December. So I mean, we would love to have you as a guest on that, and I mean, I could definitely send you a DM after this, and we could set that up if you're interested. And I think we could talk about some pretty cool topics moving forward. And yeah, man, I'd definitely love to pick your brain, and I'd love to talk to you a bit more on you know, the podcast side of things.
Yeah, most definitely, bro.
And Max,
you guys have someone that wants to speak up or ask a question. You guys want to allow them up?
Yeah, we're gonna allow him up here. Max just sent me a text saying it looks like his Twitter space just crashed again. So don't be surprised in case this whole thing closes again. So that kind of sucks a little bit, but looks like Anjuk has a question, so I'll go ahead and add you as a speaker, bro. Hey, Anjuk, you're good to speak, my man.
Oops, I muted everybody.
Anjuk, you're gonna have to unmute your mic.
Andrew, did you have a question?
Maybe not. Maybe he accidentally requested to speak or something. But hold on, let me see. Let me see if I can get Max working back up here again.
All right.
If not, we could probably just like call it here pretty soon. And obviously, all of the information from the giveaway, we're gonna tweet it out immediately after this. It looks like a lot of people did get kicked off, as Max did too. He's actually,
Yep.
I'm texting him right now back and forth. So sorry if I'm losing my train of thought, but I'm trying to diagnose this.
No, go ahead, bro. Do what you got to do, because I know we've had issues all day with Twitter.
Yeah, man, it's definitely kind of annoying to have to deal with it. I had a whole bunch of people over at my house right now for like a Thanksgiving thing that my wife was doing,
Yeah.
and I couldn't find a quiet place, so I'm sitting in my car doing this AMA right now.
Well, that's what I was saying. Why don't you guys post something up and I'll share, get it to Mrs. JH, and and definitely hit me up in DMs, bro, and we'll further it up, and I'll come on one of your podcasts, and vice versa. You can come on one of mine.
Yeah, for sure, man. I think we could have some meaningful conversations, and yeah, why not? I mean, if we're not doing it, who's going to do it, right? So,
Exactly.
yeah, bro, definitely, man. I guess, look, I think we're good to call it here, Rudes. Doesn't look like he's having much luck getting back on, and we're afraid to have him kind of like just close his app because we're
Okay.
not
Well,
going
what
to
I
want to
want you
have to
guys to
crash
do is,
everything again.
Leo, what I want you guys to do is keep me posted on the project. Now that you guys we've done an AMA with you guys, like anybody, you could speak to Kyle from King Shiba, right? Or some of the other devs that have been in this space that you guys may know. I always, once you do an AMA with me, I always keep my community posted, especially if I like the project. And you guys got wheels, which means you guys have been around longer than 48 hours. So I'll definitely keep you guys in the loop with my community.
Perfect, bro. I mean, I'm looking forward to it, man, and I think we could build a pretty nice relationship together moving forward and continuously, keep the ball rolling between one another. And, I think, you could find value in our community. We could find value in your community, and if we can piggyback off each other to grow to the top, then why not, right? And I think that's very valuable in the space, is to be able to be making alliances, and we're always open to talking to people who are on the same page as us and like-minded people. So you've been a pleasure, man. You've been a pleasure. You were a great host. I definitely want to do this again. I think our community loved the whole vibe of the conversation too.
I
And
want to answer this question. Somebody
yeah, go
before we
ahead.
go, somebody asked. There's an article team said that it wanted to attract 1% holders of Shiba and Doge. Is there a chance to attract more of them? Approximately 20. Yeah, there really is. It's by word of mouth, by networking correctly.
Absolutely, absolutely, and I mean that's a very achievable goal. And that's the thing, is like you can't really put a time on it, because when it happens, it's going to happen. Whether it happens today, whether it happens tomorrow, or whether it happens a year from now, you can't predict it. It's just very spontaneous how the internet works, and when things catch fire on the internet, they really really catch fire. So it's about being consistent. It's about being able to continue to deliver and come up with new ideas until something is that one big huge absolute game changing idea. And that's the thing, man. It's just you gotta keep doing it. You just have to keep
Yeah.
bringing things to the table, bro. And we will have success as long as we're consistent, and we are being consistent, man. Got to tell you.
Yeah, I mean, look. You gotta crawl before you can walk. But the bottom line is the Shiba and the Doge community have been around for, well, Shiba's been around for 2 years. Doge's been around since
Like
2014.
2014, yeah.
Yeah, so they're not stupid. They're not stupid. They know what to do. These guys that act clueless all the time. I'm gonna tell you guys an interesting story before we wrap up. I'm in the Board Yacht Ape Discord, right? And this was back when we were getting our land right for the other side, and we were trying to get our lands. Like if you owned a Board Yacht Ape, you got a piece. You got basically like an NFT or a piece of property, right?
Yeah.
And these people were taking loans out for shit.
Yep.
I'm like, are you guys stupid? Why would you subject yourself to that? And then when that ETH glitch happened in OpenSea for it, where it went down for like, it was just horrendous. People were paying like 25 ETH or something like that. I was
Yeah.
just laughing. I was just like, whoa. Because I mean, I got mine early. I'm not gonna lie, but it's crazy how people will just FOMO into shit, but yet not do their homework. And so, and that's in a bear market, mind you, when that land came out, the other side.
Yep. But
So
that's
if
how powerful branding is, dude. Like the name
exactly,
is so powerful that people didn't care. They were like, whatever, I'm gonna pay $5,000 in gas. I just want it. And
bro,
that's the thing.
I bought 8 Board Yacht Apes under mint price at one point. So that tells you, and I gave 4 away to my community.
Yeah, man. That's the thing. It just tells you never know, man. Don't undervalue anything. Like everything that you have, cherish it because there's a reason why you got it. There's a reason why you got it other than you just wanting to make money. Something grabbed your interest, right? Whether it's something that the dev said or whether it's something you read on the project or whatever. You loved it for whatever reason that made you buy it. So don't devalue what you got because whatever it's worth today may not be the same tomorrow. You get what I'm saying? So it's always love what you buy but love what you invest. That way, it doesn't feel like you have to look at the chart every 2 minutes. Because if you're looking at a chart every 2 minutes to try to validate whether you made a right or wrong decision, you're gonna get stressed, you're gonna get depressed, and you're gonna be losing 99% of the time. You get what I'm saying? Patience is the #1 winner in this space. You said it earlier. It's a 3 to 5 year thing. I can't agree more, man. Some people find success in 3 to 5 hours. Some people find it 3 to 5 days, and some realistically will find it in 3 to 5 years. But that's the beautiful thing of crypto is anything can happen.
Exactly. And on that note, I thank you guys for coming in and allowing me to ask you guys some questions. And I look forward to talking with you guys behind the scenes.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Rudes. It was a pleasure to have you. And before we sign off, I just want to let you guys know we will be tweeting all of the rules and everything that had to do with the buy contest and the Black Friday event that we got going on. So keep your eyes on that for the Twitter post to come out. Should be coming out any minute now.
Leo,
Please
that's live right now.
Oh,
The
you're
tweet
back.
is live. Yeah, I fixed my spaces and I don't know what keeps happening, but that's live right now. So we just made a tweet on our Twitter page. Definitely go check it out. All the buys that will need to be qualified for the giveaways will need to come through Uniswap, and the event starts on November 25th at 12:01 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and ends on November 28th at 12:01 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you want to get into Shibadoge or you want a chance to win up to $35,000, definitely take advantage of this. We'll be announcing more information on all the prizes in the coming tweets. But we made the first tweet, which announces the main event. And then join our Telegram because we're going to make new announcements in there every single day. So definitely stay up to date with the latest information in Telegram. And if you have any other questions about Shibadoge at all of our community members will be in there to support you and help get any of your questions answered.
Yeah, guys. And with that note, if you missed Doge, that sucks. If you missed Shiba, that sucks even more, in my opinion. But if you miss Shibadoge, then unfortunately, you suck.
Yep. Exactly. Thank you guys.
All right, guys. Yo, peace out.
Thanks,
This has
Rude.
been great.
Appreciate
Talk
you
to you
guys.
guys again.
You're welcome.